Welcome back, guys, to a new episode of the European Herpetoculture Podcast. Today, we have a roundtable again, end of the month. So it's roundtable season. And we are all four here together. Hello, guys.
Hola.
Hello.
One person is missing at the moment because of his internet, but he's joining soon. So, how are
Hopefully.
you guys doing? Stefan, tell me.
Go ahead, Till.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Weather was nice, had a nice Berlin trip. Came back and was disappointed that the plants didn't grow as fast as I hoped while I was away. But beside that, everything's great. How about you guys?
Awesome. Stefan, tell us.
Yeah, pretty good. Busy. Just started a new study to become an actual teacher. And
Nice.
so that's a lot of time and a new rhythm, but that's okay. And the animals are doing well. Yeah, what's there to say? I've done
Nice.
a lot of research for the topic we are going to discuss this episode. We're going to talk
That's
about reptile shows. Are they good? Are they bad? Whatever. So I've been to which was terrible. Went to Houten, which was a bit better, but also still not great. And in 2 weeks, I have Snake Day. No idea
yeah,
why I go
Oh,
there.
true. October again.
yeah, true.
Inderdaad.
Crazy.
So, yeah, just been busy with that.
Sounds stressful. Why was it not good? You want to talk about it now or later?
Well, the Ham show, you mean?
Yeah.
It was so. Luckily, we got early access passes, so we were in at like 8:15.
Yeah.
EHP.
And we could walk around. You can't do any deals till 9:45, or
Ah,
at
okay.
least not
Okay.
exchange animals. But we were able to walk around and pick up some stuff that needed to be exported. But it was just so busy and so many people taking their time while you feel everybody in home feels so like rushed and stressed and um there were a lot of people that I said to hi to, but it's
Mm.
like these micro interactions. It's not like
Yeah, yeah.
really, it's like, hey, how you doing, Hawk? Oh man, I need to go here, and
Yeah.
this person is waiting on me, blah 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 blah. So yeah, that makes it all very hectic, but it's all also in your mind, you can take it easy. But we
Yeah.
we, we want to be out there at like 11, but we left at 12, and that was still like 2 hours later than I wanted to leave.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always so stressful. I talked about it with a friend, and I was like, I actually talked with Jonas about it. Everybody knows. Maybe it would be. We thought about it if it would be like better that the shows maybe 2 days, but it also had like pros and cons as well. Because everybody like is such in a rush. And also I don't think, or maybe the expo should be a little longer because I feel like it's like such a short time period where it's open, right? It's like only from 10 till 4, right?
Yeah, 10 to 4. But man, do you want to be there
Aren't
that
6 hours enough?
No, but I feel like imagine like coming from the UK or something. Like on I feel like it wouldn't be like such a rush if like it would be a little longer. You know what I mean? That way you don't have to feel like, oh fuck, I'm just coming at 12. Oh, maybe the good stuff is already gone. When it would be like 2 hours longer, maybe people wouldn't be so stressed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I
But
think also a part of the stress is that I think our boy Ben is also I think also a
yeah,
part of the stress is just that a lot of people, and I've done the same, either have couriers, and some couriers, they're always
mm,
on a time schedule because they need to catch a boat or whatever, or
yeah,
or a plane and stuff like that. And let's be honest, a lot of people already have spent the money of the animals they sold.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I think that also creates it. But yeah, that's maybe a bit too far into it. So I've done
Yeah,
research. We were
yeah,
just
that's
doing the intros, Ben, and just
yeah.
saying how the week was and what we've done.
How was your week, Ben? Tell us.
Yeah, pretty busy, but productive at the same time. So feeling tired but good, and hoping for another good week. I'm
That's a
sorry for being
statement.
late,
That's a statement from a real worker.
Nice.
man.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm trying whatever I can to survive.
Damn, yeah, it's
No,
hard. It's a
just
hustle.
joking.
Did you take the job in Karlsruhe?
I didn't apply yet, but
Mm.
I will within the
Oh,
next like week or two.
what's going
Yeah.
on there?
Yeah, they're in Zoo Karlsruhe. They are just right now looking for a mini jobber on a small amount of hours per month for constructions in the zoo,
Ooh,
both
nice.
on animal enclosures, but also on the visitor whatever sites, painting the walls or I don't know, whatever, screwing some wind pictures on the wall or something, whatever. Yeah, but also working for the animals. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a cool opportunity. So I'm thinking I should just try to see if they want me. The thing is, I don't have the necessary qualification. You need this apprenticeship in painting, for
Mm,
example.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't have that, but I have a different qualification, so we will see.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
I,
it's quite a long ride. Not exactly sure if it's really worth it at the end, but at least I want to speak to them. Let's see.
Hmm.
always good. I also like applied last week for a job in a mushroom cultivation
S-
thing, but
So
they didn't.
fucking dope.
Yeah, but sadly they didn't have like any jobs at the moment. But it's insane. They have them like in shipping containers, and they produce per week like 1.5 tons of mushrooms.
That's fucking
Oh,
money.
And
crazy.
that's crazy because I thought like, oh, it would be so cool to like I'm pretty sure you can learn a lot also with grow mushrooms that you can transfer into our hobby, and especially
Yeah,
with
definitely.
grow mushrooms. But I think there's like another mushroom growing facility here in the city. Maybe I'm trying there again, or maybe next year, because I feel like that would be so dope. And they also had like hydroponic systems with fish in it, like very sustainable farming kind of way, and a nice garden with seasonal stuff. And they producing this stuff for selling to different customers, and also like for high-end restaurants or all types of restaurants. But for example, they're producing mushrooms for Noma. This is like the one of the, if it was the best ranked Michelin star restaurant in the world. It's insane, actually. Yeah, that would have been super cool, but it was also like more of a gamble if they had a job or not, because they didn't have like a job online. So I just went there, said hello, but I tried it at least.
It's the good way.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Keep going,
For sure.
man.
Do you
Easy.
want to share some thoughts about how you like, your new like city where you moved into?
Yeah, yeah. Wow, yeah, it's insane. So to be honest, at the moment, Leah and I both feel like that we don't want to come back to Germany, even though we are just now here for 3 weeks, but it's so different. Like people are much more relaxed, they're super nice. The people are also, I really like the vibe of the city, like very sporty, very young, international, open. And like quality of life feels so much better. Like I can ride my bike like 10 minutes. I'm at the sea. Also where we live is perfect. Like our landlords are super cute. It's really, really nice. I feel very at home. Only like it's been 3 weeks, but the moment I don't want to come back to Germany, definitely. So that's pretty cool, but I have a big issue with the greenhouse. We can talk about it maybe later or in another episode, because I don't know if it will fit in here, or it will not fit in here at the size that I would like it. And also, it's actually almost impossible to build like a proper sized enclosure for the Anialoides that I would like to give them. So I realized it like yesterday, and I was like pretty sad and pissed about it, you know? So that's at the moment a struggle, but also I need to like it's a new chapter in life, and also maybe sometimes you have to focus on yourself and somehow I don't want to give up this hobby, definitely not, but find another way because I don't want to squeeze this thing inside of here. You know what I mean? It's like it could fit theoretically, but it would like look like trash. Then the whole room would be full completely. So that's a bit of a gamble, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about it because I thought I'm gonna keep the Enialuides like because I love them, but at the moment it's like a real struggle. What what should I do? Like because I don't want to give him away. That's definitely not the case. And I don't even know how long you would take care of them till we can also like not need to discuss it in the podcast. It's like a thing for private stuff, but um yeah. For the people that don't know it, at the moment they're at Till's place and he's taking care of it like a champion.
Ah, you haven't seen them yet, man.
Stefan, tell me the truth.
I haven't seen them either.
They weren't
I
out.
haven't seen them either. No, they were
Yeah,
They
hiding, he
already,
said. They were
yeah,
hiding.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, it's
constantly.
crazy.
Like for 3 days, constantly hiding.
Yeah,
I really like barbecue, man.
yeah, but that's the update. So still feeling pretty good, but that's a little bit annoying. Yeah. So I'm
Great.
glad everybody is doing good.
Nice, but a lot of life-changing things with everybody. Either looking
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a job or a new home or studies or whatever.
Yeah.
So a
True, we
lot going
all
on.
yeah, everybody's almost in a new chapter, like at the
Except
moment.
me. I was just on vacation for a week.
Boring. No.
Boring. No changes over here.
Yeah.
Ihr bleibt alles so, wie es ist.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
Ben is stuck again.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
he's doing some mime. But the topic of today is we already got into it a little bit. Reptile shows. Somebody in the before the last episode was like asking a question about reptile shows and how they work.
Yeah.
And we took that to this roundtable. And Flo, as our social media manager,
Yes.
you did a questionnaire with the people on Instagram asking for their opinions on reptile shows, and you said there were actually quite some replies.
Yeah.
So maybe cool to start with those, and then we get into our thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, I want to thank all the listeners and followers that they are so interactive with us on the Instagram. I think it's really cool. Like also with liking and listening and stuff like that. It's very, very cool. I don't feel like it's like normal that we have like so many people interacting.
Yeah,
It's
it's cool.
awesome. So, oh, there's really a lot of messages. Should we also do not the names again because I forgot to ask
Yeah.
last time? I think it's better.
Don't do the names.
Okay, so the question was, what's your opinion on reptile shows? So a pretty open question. And it's also like a bit difficult because you can only write so much on Instagram, which is also maybe good for this format. So should I read it all or should we go through it
Yeah, just
like
maybe name a few
step by
that
step?
caught your attention or that were like,
Yeah. Yeah. So the first guy said stressful, but nearly always worth it. Sell a lot of my offsprings via expos. Then and someone said like encourages impulsive buying, but it's good to gather people. I feel like that's a pretty good one. Somebody say important for the hobby. Then the good and the bad. Some stands are really good, others really bad, others could fix looks. Somebody said stressful also for humans, but being able to exchange captive bred animals and getting to know some great like-minded people is always nice. I think they are important for the hobby and for our culture. If done and planned well, can be amazing experience also for meeting hobby and friends. And somebody said people should wear deodorant. Uh, so yeah, pretty, I would say 50-50 on the opinions, right? Always like this good and bad at the same time.
Yeah.
Um, maybe.
And also a lot on the social aspect,
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
everyone.
yeah, that's true. So maybe we should jump. I really like this one, encourages impulsive buying, but it's good to gather people. I think that's a very, very good one. How do you feel actually? Let's like do like a quick answer and then we can go deeper into the topic in general.
Okay, I've
Yeah.
thought about this,
Or is it
and
like
it's a difficult one to answer, but to keep it short, I dislike reptile shows as much as I like them. I like them for the social aspect. I like them because it's created an opportunity for a lot of people to obtain species and therefore spread species in a hobby that otherwise maybe would not be as easily spread. You know, especially as we don't send those animals through all of Europe. So that helped to spread the species and establish them. And I'm glad I see more and more captive bred, but I also dislike them a lot. Yeah, it's stressful for me, but also it's stressful for the animals. I see often with the same sellers, the same animals like 2 weeks later on another show, and then a few weeks later on another show. And I feel like, and I've been doing research for 25 years now, that reptile shows in the basis haven't really changed. And on the educational part, there's a lot to improve.
yeah. Phil, what
Very
do you
good
think?
answer, Stefan.
Danke.
Bitte.
Now I'm afraid to say what I'm thinking because it will sound bad compared to what you just
No.
Now
Talk
I'm
about.
curious.
Yeah.
It's just an opinion.
I'm thinking in order to keep populations of certain species healthy in the long run, you need to exchange bloodlines. So that's why animals need to travel from A to B. And in my opinion, one of the, if not the best way to do it, it is by car on a direct way, person to person. And why not do that all together in one day, in one place to meet up and to have a good time with each other in general? I mean, that's in the basis a good idea. Then it's a bit about the execution, I guess. And I'm thinking, and the podcast with Pachi actually inspired me a little bit to think about it more. I'm thinking reptile shows should transform more into entertaining events with education and possibilities to learn and connect instead of to buy and be overwhelmed by a million animals. Maybe I'd imagine future reptile shows more like exhibition events with a separate room that can be booked for animal trading. So there's like a calendar where people can meet up face to face to have a quarantine room to do animal trade. But the reptile hobby is so much more than just buying and selling animals. And I'm thinking it is dangerous because some people fall into that mindset of, yeah, animal keeping is trading the Pokemons until I have the best one, you know? And yeah, so that's why I had a business idea, which I want to tell you about later.
Cool.
businessman. Phil, what's your
Nice.
opinion?
I think I can also stick to your points, guys. What I think is a little funny is what Ben said. And I think in our bubble or the people that we know, it's so common to go to Ham to meet people and exchange animals that you already bought in advance or where you already made the deal and don't buy as much animals from the tables. And I think that most people I know use the show as an opportunity for that, like this giant network. Everyone knows anyone, or everyone knows someone who's going to Hamm or Houten. So it's easy to transfer your animals through all of Europe. That's great. It's also funny that uh, the counter to that is that I think, at least in Hamm, the exchange of animals um, on the parking lot and without a table is actually prohibited, I think. So a lot of deals that are happening there shouldn't happen. And I think that's kind of sad. I mean, it's happening anyways, but I really like the idea that you just showed, like this everyone can exchange animals and they are going directly to their new home without shipping them. So I also think that there's a lot of room for improvement. Also like the networking stuff and meeting a lot of friends that I normally only see online. And what I don't like about them is like this negative attention that the expos draw towards the hobby. A lot of times when the Hum show is, you find some news article about like 100 dead animals found in a bin, or some protected animals have been confiscated beside the expo. I think I wasn't there at the last Hum show, but there were like these animal rights protesters in front of the expo. So that way, when these expos come to the media, it's always negatively associated. And yeah, it maybe fires back on the whole hobby. But I also think we need them to distribute all the animals through Europe. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah, that's true. Uh, yeah, for me it's also like 50-50. On the one hand, I really enjoy them, also like to seeing people and be able to buy stuff there, especially like feeder insects and different hardscape materials is much more cheaper than ordering it. Um, or frozen thawed stuff, also the same. When I was younger, I also found it very fascinating to see like so many animals in one place and have the opportunity to see such a variety of exotic animals. And yeah, also the aspect that like you can drive your animal there yourself and have it in your own hand, how it's transported and stuff like that. But on the other hand, I feel like it's also like super stressful for the animals, and also as many good vibes there is, as many bad vibes there are as well. And yeah, it's a double-edged sword in my opinion. It's very difficult to have like I'm either on this or that side. I'm right in the middle. And sometimes when I'm at the expo, I feel more that way, and sometimes more the other way. That's my opinion. Quickly said.
What do the reptile shows need to do to make you be more pro reptile show, Flo? What do they need to change?
Well, to be honest, that's like a really hard question because to be honest, I wouldn't like when I'm at the Reptile Expo, I mainly go there to meet friends because I don't have a lot of animals and I don't have like offspring a lot to sell, right? So I can't say from my perspective out that is like how I would like a reptile expo because I think it's not fair that I am speaking on this point because I don't have the amount of animals that it's like I don't need to travel there to change out, sell and buy animals, you know. Um, I feel like it's hard because there's many things that you need to improve. I think that would
Give me an example.
like all that stuff with dealing like on the parking lot. On the one hand, it's like maybe you should give an extra
Yeah.
room where you
Yeah,
can
but
trade stuff.
that
But
whole dealing on the parking spot, I understand that it's not great, because it can also create some dealing with animals that maybe aren't like doing well, and I especially dislike it in the winter because I see people
yeah,
opening up boxes with the
Mhm.
reticulated pythons, and short-term stress, a bit of cold, sure, but why do that risk and have a respiratory infection with your new snake? But especially Terroristica Ham is almost a unique situation because let's be
Mhm.
honest, I believe you still have to write a letter to actually get a table there.
Yeah, yeah,
That is
It's
super
so
For real?
fucking weird,
difficult
man.
to
yeah,
get
For
a
real?
table there or to have an exchange situation, and that's also the reason why you can't videograph there or photograph there. Recently I saw a guy did a YouTube video about it, but like a
Mm.
few months ago, that if somebody saw you taking pictures, you were out of the show
Yeah.
yeah.
directly. And they are so strict because of PETA, and they indeed were there till there were like 7
Yeah,
persons.
I saw some Instagram stories
Yeah, it was
about
so
it.
funny. I will send you a picture of my friend who replicated it in our situation. Anyway, um, so the whole dealing at the parking lot is it's not preferable, but the problem is that there's no alternative.
Yeah,
I think a
Yeah.
lot of people would love the not running around and having a point of exchange, and yeah, and also if you have like a table in Hum, if you can get one, and you get like a abonnement, so you have a table every edition.
Mhm.
Then as soon as you don't show up once, you've lost your spot because there's so many people who want to stand there. It's so difficult
Is
to
it
get a
always
table
fully
there.
booked?
Yeah, but well, it used to be, but nowadays like the tent on the side is always gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
wondering. I mean, they
Yeah.
have the
Oh,
opportunity to make it bigger, right?
yeah. Yeah, they have.
So
They used to do it. Yeah.
I,
that
sorry.
no, I just wanted to say if there's actually a reason why this one tent is like gone, or is it like
I
maybe
don't know.
yeah, maybe government stuff or something like that.
Could be. I'm sure there's like some escapees, but maybe that's a different topic. But yeah. But indeed, so a place to exchange your animals in a more stress-free or more controlled environment would be nice.
how
Yeah,
much time
for
does it take to exchange an animal in a good way?
So yesterday I sold a Lantenotis to a guy in Houten.
Mm.
Really cool guy, if you're listening.
You're cool.
Hello.
But we actually also did it on the parking lot, because the temperatures were okay, and the animals get a health check when you get in and all that stuff. Yeah, I just rather have them just be in the car and be than running around all over. Anyway, and we spoke about 15 minutes after already speaking a lot via phone and messenger. Sorry. So 15 minutes, but on Hum, less than 60 seconds.
So it's pretty quick, right?
Yeah, like Hum but it's also maybe not the best because later you come home and
Mhm.
whatever. But in Hum, I'm like, okay, here's the money. I don't even count the money. Maybe I shouldn't say
Yeah.
this, but I take the money, give you
Good
the
to
animal,
know.
or the other way
Like the
around.
racks.
Yeah.
Here are your paper. Here's your paper. Guten Tag, auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
thinking if you have a room and you book it in slots of 10 minutes. So
Hmm.
you have, if you want 10 minutes face to face in the room, you can easily exchange whatever you want and do the paperwork and stuff. You can even be 3 minutes late and it's still going to be okay. And then you can cycle 6 people in an hour and in 5 hours, that's 30 people. So
Okay,
if you have 3 rooms, that's 90 people.
but I
It's
don't
not
think
In the
it's
much.
room or on the table?
Cycling
Like maybe a
through,
row of tables would work, but I don't think we know how much.
yeah, I think there's like thousands of these going on.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
Maybe
think
in a
it
smaller circle.
I don't I don't also think it's like
Yeah.
able to have like time slots because you don't know how the traffic is and stuff like that. It would be like I think it's a cool idea, but I
And you
think
know the
it's
people, when I sell plants or something, they're always late or you don't find them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem, right? What's the alternative? But I like the idea of time slots for sure. Was that your
yeah,
business idea, Ben?
I think he's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Bye.
never
Thanks
I'm
for
mind.
done with the
listening,
podcast.
everyone.
No.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like very difficult. Is there would you change something? And I think if I think it's a very difficult
You know,
question.
Yeah.
sorry, Till, if you wanted to add, but like I remember that my first reptile show or one of the first reptile shows was in the Jan Massink Hall. No, that's even later, but as an example, in Nijmegen in the Netherlands. And I remember that like there were all these boxes, and you had like 20 boigas in one box and
Mhm.
30 xenopeltis in one box and all the anoles together and then you could just like that one, and that's
Yeah.
what the dealer did. And oh no, let's try the other one. Now everybody is packed separately and the sides of the boxes are closed, but
Yeah.
still. And I need to be aware that it's not just because I think it's aesthetically pleasing, because I'm really sensitive to that. I like things that are pretty,
Mm.
but I just feel like the whole presentation or how animals are displayed, it's if I explain a reptile show to a person who doesn't know a reptile show, I say to them it's like a book like a book trading event. You just have
Mm.
tables full of books and you have tables full of animals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it's
makes
really,
sense.
really weird at the end of the
It's
day.
strange, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of disrespectful to the animals to put
Yeah.
them on display like that. It's just not beautiful.
Uh, isn't there like I don't know where I heard it, but isn't there like an expo where there's only now pictures of the animals on the table and
I
you
don't
said
know.
you want to buy X animal and it's under the table in a box? I don't know where I
No.
heard it.
Hmm.
But then
Huh.
also, yeah, at least, oh no, you can, oh, where is it? Isn't it like in Spain? We talked with Guillaume about it, right?
I don't know, really.
I
I
think
can't
it,
remember.
I think it was in Spain where they have like only pictures and then you basically buy the animal without seeing it. I think
Like you
somehow
do it
like
at an
this.
ice cream shop. I want this five-colored water ice. Okay,
Yeah,
here
okay.
is one.
Overall, the whole
Uh,
practice is just strange, right? Having all these live
yeah,
creatures on the table. And
yeah,
but man,
Yeah,
I've been to Vivarium, and there they also sold fish, and that was
mm,
even more strange because they have fish like pre-packaged, like
yeah,
you're on a
yeah,
Thai market.
yeah,
yeah,
like in bags, right?
Yeah, that was so weird. That was even weirder to
Yeah,
me, but it's probably just the same. But yeah,
yeah. Yeah, why are the reptile shows more about really connecting and learning and educating each other? Like people do in like clubs with local meetings or stuff, why don't they do it at a reptile show? Because there's this opportunity of so many people who are interested in basically the same niche. So why not have like some talks about snakes and lizards on the parking lot or whatever, or a
yeah.
separate tent or something?
yeah. For that, I think the expo should be longer. And
Yeah.
actually, in Sindelfingen, near my hometown, there was always this fish and reptile expo. It was like a super small selection of reptiles, and there were a lot of there were talks at the show, and there were also like a lot of different brands, like Eheim had a booth,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, different booth from different factories. That was also okay, but yeah, I also was like too young to really go
Mm.
to a speech or something like that. But in general, the idea is quite good, but this expo is also like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think I've seen it on the internet that at the bigger shows in USA, there are some talks and stuff. Or did I remember that wrong? I think I've seen that on Instagram, but yeah,
Yeah, at least
there
at the
are.
Aquashella and those combined shows.
Yeah.
But also
Yeah.
they are more open to like YouTubers and stuff like that, right? They are much more open that like they want to draw attention. They want people to
Mhm.
film. They want people to take pictures, that there's like also the outside world coming into this expo and
Mm.
experience the animal world with talks and people walking around with pet varanes
But I
Yeah.
think in
bushes.
Germany, it's like the fear of the consequences, be it legal or from some protesters or something
Yeah.
like this. I think they are very afraid of that, and I don't know if it's that big of an issue in USA.
Yeah, but do they have a point? That's also a question. Because like for out for an outside person, we there are like thousands of animals, some wild caught, some captive bred, all in one big hot room with thousands of visitors, all in a plastic box.
Stinky visitors.
All in a plastic box on a table. Uh, it's like
Being
you said,
sold without big discussions if there's any
yeah.
qualification.
Is there like I understand the concept, but on the other hand, it's also like very disrespectful. Like
Yeah,
you
that's
said,
not involved over the.
yeah,
Yeah. Maybe that's
uh,
also because the bigger shows now have like a monopoly.
yeah,
Because the shows you were talking about were held by like societies, and most of them have maybe not in Germany, but at least in the Netherlands have like bled out.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe we can also get into another question. What are um
Ben, you gotta send me like a cute picture of you so can put you in frame like in the fourth spot.
I also miss seeing him.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to miss us.
No, good.
yeah.
Oh, now Stefan's also away.
Wait, no, we have
Everyone is
Here
running
I
off.
am.
Once again, welcome back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what to do.
maybe people. What do you think about like people that go there as a vendor making like better displays for the animals? Would that be like an cool idea? Because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's is there like even a way where you can do animal expo in a like good kind of way? I
Yeah,
think in the end of the day, the animal always suffers because it's
yeah.
stressful as hell.
If you put them on a display with
Yeah,
a lot of hiding spots and stuff,
Sorry about that.
wouldn't make a sin. Yeah, no problem.
Maybe the future is to reduce or to remove the display aspect and just
Yeah,
to come together to have prefixed exchanges or deals, or maybe booths where there's a list or pictures and where you can then have a discussion about the animal and then get to see it and maybe buy it. Maybe that's a better way at the end of the day compared to putting all these animals in these transparent boxes where people can put their faces like a couple centimeters away from them, shaking them around and stuff. It's just not cool at the end of the day. And I'm wondering how many animals really suffer during these shows. I mean, it's thousands and thousands. It's
Yeah.
countless. Yeah. So
Um,
that led
yeah.
me to an idea.
In the
Okay.
past, a lot of societies had like a breeders list in their magazines. Like you read the
Mhm.
magazine, and then at the end of the edition, there was a list like this person bred this person bred this person bred this.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
when societies were really strong. That's a bit gone now. Now it's Instagram.
Yeah. True.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
What do you think about like because like people can go right in front of the table and maybe go like very close to the animal and stare right into it and even pick it up. Do you think it would like help the animal to release a little bit of the stress is if there would be like a barrier between a meter, like with the line, you don't cross this line, only the vendor can pick up an animal and
Yeah,
show it to
but
you?
And
then
I'm
people
thinking,
won't go to the shows to sell anymore.
Yeah. I also think that this will, even though I like these ideas, I think it will hurt the vendors financially and make everything more impractical. So I think they would just figure out another way to bring the animals among the masses. So, and if you imagine how crowded Ham already is and how less of a space there is, if you even get barriers into there, for sure it would be better for the animals, but I don't think this would be doable.
Yeah, okay, but what is when you example booking time slots for coming in that not like you don't need to stand in a line for 2 hours. You have like an online pass, show it, this is my time slot, go in because of course for the vendors it would be bad, but in that case it's like for the animals bad as well. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
or
Ben,
it,
Ben, Ben is are you still there, Ben?
yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Ben is also a bit more of a commercial person, but if with these things, yes, animal stress reducing is important. And now they have the boxes with only one side open. Maybe you can cover like a bit or make sure there's something for them to hide
mm,
in there. But for me, for somebody that like makes money of, because let's be honest, these people make money of organizing these reptile shows.
yeah,
If as a vendor you want to sell and you don't want to make it too hard on them, because then that's the main priority for somebody who is there to sell
yeah, yeah, true.
Yeah, yeah.
for
Yeah, yeah.
most of
At the end
them.
of the day, if you do not really display the animals,
Yeah.
you mostly reduce the impulse bias, in my opinion. The
Yeah.
people who really go there to look for something very specific for one female Anolis trinitatis or whatever, for example.
That's awesome.
Then, oh, okay, interesting, interesting. Then it doesn't really matter if you see them on a list or if you see a picture of the species, you will of course talk to the people and then will get what you want, if it is available. But yeah, the people who just walk along some random species that I've never seen and just think they are cute because they have a funny whatever shape of the head or whatever. Those people buying animals they have no idea about, and those animals dying within a couple of weeks. Those are the buys that will definitely be reduced. So
Yeah.
maybe it's at the end of the day a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah. It's difficult. I mean, we also like only talk about Ham because I only been one time at the Houghton Expo, so I only have experience with like the Ham Expo. I don't even know if it's like better on Snake Day or the Expo in Houghton, if it's like is there
I
a
like
difference
Snake Day.
or
Yeah.
is there what's the difference? I've never been there.
Snake Day is still more of a get together. It is
Okay.
a lot of trading. It is, which is a good thing because there's more captive bred,
Hmm.
but it's also a lot of the same animals. But I feel like Snake Day is definitely more of a get together. Um, It's quite easy to go there. It's held by a society, so maybe they can do something with talks actually.
Yeah.
But yes, Snake Day to me feels like I'm going to Snake Day, even though I don't have snakes, or yeah, I have one now, but I don't consider myself a snake keeper anymore. But I go to Snake Day because for the vibes.
Okay, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Also, Houghton is less crowded than I think.
Yeah, but also
But yeah,
wider hallways. And like I was talking to Simon, one of the vendors at Ham, and he was showing some new frogs he imported, and they were actually in boxes that were completely in black, and there was this lid you can open up. So it was closed, and then if you wanted to see him, you could pull the lid up. It was really
Okay,
nice.
that's
Okay.
cool.
And but he was like sitting on his chair, unpacking these animals with the box between him and his table, and his back was against the table of the persons in like the row
Behind him.
behind him.
Yeah, it's just
So,
so tight, man.
oh man, it's I I understand why there are less vendors and maybe why there's less places where they sell, because I would not want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
And how do you just have, especially Snake Day, you have just more space, and it's often the same people that go, so you have this sense of community.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah,
and
true.
what was your idea? We
My
all want to
idea.
know.
Yeah, I kind of had an idea when I was, I don't know, just thinking about a better way to do reptile shows, and I was just kind of playing with the idea of hosting our own show called like the European Herpetoculture show. And we could, for example, have a get together over a full day. Imagine, for example, on a Friday, going to a zoo in, for example, Cologne or Botanical Garden or whatever, have a zoo tour behind the scenes and stuff like that. Invite the all the guests that we already had on the podcast, but also friends and friends of the guests and listeners who are excited to hang out with us. And then after we could go to a location. I'm thinking, for example, the Jungle Leaves shop. And then we could have maybe two or three talks, some, I don't know, yeah, finger food and music at the end of the day, and just have a cool, I don't know, place to hang around and socialize. And also at the same time, one room that is dedicated for trading animals. If there's anybody who wants to bring some of this and that, they can do it in a separate room. And then I'm thinking we can maybe ask for a little fee of the people, and that way make a little bit of money and then donate the money. That's what I was thinking.
that's cool. Sounds a bit like some societies do it, like the Turtle
Yeah,
Society and
yeah,
the New Society. I like that way a lot. It's more
and
like in the essence why you do it, right?
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I would like to just meet a couple of people that
Mm.
we just now spoke to in person.
Mm.
And maybe it's just a cool way to set up a get together.
Yeah. I like that it's more the community thing and less selling buy and buying stuff in the
Yeah, for
focus at
sure.
least.
Yeah, and if it's about selling and buying, then it's plants, mostly selling, well, buying plants. If at the end of the day some people have some random needs for a fern or an orchid, they can just grab it, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But like I told you on the phone, we spoke about it like
yeah,
yesterday. I would feel like very uncomfortable to like
Mhm.
do it now because we I don't feel like we have
We are there yet.
such an
yeah,
an impact that people like it would be too much to say, yo, we are doing like our own show. It would be like a little bit of this Napoleon complex thing, you know what I mean? Like way too big for us now.
Oh, do you really think so?
Yeah.
Depends on how you view it. If you would just see it as a get together and invite some homies from Belgium and from France or whatever, from Austria, then I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, for sure if we invite friends, but I wouldn't if I don't feel like people would come just because we are the ones doing it. You know what I mean? Maybe friends
Depends
will
on what
show
we
up.
offer. If there's a
Y-
talk about Enyaloides from a guy from the, I don't know, Cologne Zoo or stuff,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's more of a society.
yeah,
Yeah,
true.
Do you
I
think that
also
no, but it's a good idea. So do you think that but it's a whole different talk than to reptile shows. So maybe before we go on a big tangent there, but um it seems like societies are bleeding out, but like all the aspects that the people on Instagram mentioned and that you now mentioned, Ben, and that you guys, everybody of us like most enthusiastic about, the get together, the exchange of animals in bloodlines, but not get the impulse. It seems like a lot of societies were doing that, but somehow that's more and more gone.
Mm, Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like
it's most
disappearing.
yeah, it's mostly like the elderly generation still doing that. Like I'm connected to someone who's organizing like something like a Stammtisch. I don't know the English word. What's it called? Like also a regular meeting from
Hmm.
people of a certain area, and they meet once a month and just do talks and get food. And it's like just at a restaurant, they have booked like a big room. There's a projector, and someone is talking about his herping trip. Somebody's talking about the stuff he observed in his hobby or his niche, and they invite guests and they just have a good time. And I was there once. Unfortunately, most of the time I didn't have time or it was a little too far away, but it was nice. But of course, I think I was the youngest one. There was a lot of elderly persons, and on his WhatsApp status, I also saw pictures of the big DGHT gathering that was this week. Um, Yeah, and the pictures he posted from all the talks and where the people were on stage, you saw so much white hair because people are getting old. And um, yeah, maybe we need to talk to someone of them, but I feel like they have problems getting younger people into their societies.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Even
And
I'm the
also,
youngest at those meetings, and I'm like
and,
Yeah,
old.
that's
old
crazy.
man.
No, but
Shut up, grandpa.
no, but I feel like it's also I don't know, like every old person that's in the hobby, you know what I mean? But I also have the feeling that if, for example, till Ben walks in there or myself and does give a speech, I can imagine that people are saying, he's just a young guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You know, maybe it's also like a
You
niche
think so?
thinking.
I think
Or
that's
is
more
it
with
just
you
a
internally and not with
theory?
those people.
Yeah, that's what maybe it's also not like a very niche kind of thinking,
Yeah.
but yeah, maybe that's just me thinking that.
I
I think they
don't,
will get
I know.
enthusiastic.
Yeah. I also know what kind of people you're talking about, and for sure there will be these people. But yeah, I didn't give a talk there, but I feel like they were pretty open and interested in, hey, what are you doing? What are the young people doing? So I also think if you have something interesting to show and are open-minded yourself, then you will be greeted with open arms at the most places.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
I'm
mean, you
ac-
can bring two or three friends. Maybe you know somebody from the city who's also in the hobby, and then you can go there together. And at the end of the day, most of the time, it's also about what you make out of a opportunity like that.
Yeah.
So if you really want to have some cool whatever outcome, then you can be active and do some talks or whatever that you otherwise would not prepare, you know?
Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm thinking it's in our own hands to make the best out of whatever we can find. In my situation, for example, here there's also a local reptile club which I didn't know about until a couple of months ago. And just a couple of weeks ago, there was a talk about Lantanotos keeping. But unfortunately, it was not possible for me to make it there. But for one of the next talks, I would definitely want to go there. And I'm sure if you just keep your eyes open about local clubs or whatever, or opportunities, maybe once in a year you can just have a little bit of a longer ride to attend a show that is a little bit more far away from your place. Maybe that's even possible. And yeah, I'm sure you can find some cool
Mm.
events.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Just need to
And
go.
true. In 1 or 2 weeks, there's like a reptile expo here in Copenhagen, and I'm
Oh,
definitely going there because I want to get to know some people in this hobby here around. And maybe they're doing something different. Maybe I
Would be
can give you
cool.
an update on that because, yeah, I actually don't. I know now 2 people that are from Denmark that are keeping reptiles. So please, guys, if you're from Denmark, reach out. I need some friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think the reason that these get-togethers, because they are still happening, but it's obviously not like the main space where people exchange animals?
Mm.
I think that's mostly because our hobby, it's Europe, it's so big.
Yeah.
You go on the parking
Yeah,
lot and you look at the license plates, you see
Mhm.
how diverse the
it's crazy.
yeah, it's amazing, right? At the end, it's
Mhm.
also incredible, like
Yeah.
what this hobby does.
Yeah.
It's so cool. But it's also just efficient. Imagining having to all those small local clubs once in a while. So it would
Yeah.
be so cool if this like something more of a big organization had like a bigger influence in
hmm
how this get together
Like a
works.
European network for transferring animals, to have like a BlaBlaCar service for
oh,
booking rides of people from your area who go to big shows, for example, because I mean, you could offer a transport service or book
Mm.
a service and make your life easy that way. And also just, yeah, save a lot of fuel in a lot of cases.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are maybe we should invite somebody who does like a courier ship because there are some couriers.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah,
hmm
that
hmm
would be
good idea.
That
interesting.
would be interesting, I think,
Yeah,
right?
that
Yeah.
would be super
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're
definitely.
like a courier, we're gonna check references, but then
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
okay, is there anything somebody wants to add to that part?
Yeah,
Because I have a question.
I just realized what I said in the beginning that it would be cooler to make the show longer. I just thought about it. It's way more stressful also for the animals. That way, I think it's also better that it's not that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
If they are packed in
yeah,
a good box,
yeah.
does it matter if they are at home at 5 in the evening or 8?
No, 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 no. I mean, like the expo, like 2 days in a row, the animals on the tables, 2 days in
Yeah,
a
Ah,
row.
okay. I
that's
was
enough.
thinking
Yeah,
That
yeah.
longer
no,
in
no, no,
within the
no,
day.
no, 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 no. Sorry, no, no. A second day. That was just a quick
Yeah, not a
thought.
big fan of that.
All right. What's the question, Stefan?
Well, it seems like almost like I have like as I said, a love-hate relationship with reptile shows, but it seems until now that all of us are a little bit like, yeah, we go because of the social aspect and the exchange of animals. But we are all looking for alternatives, so it's like because there is no alternative, you do it. But maybe it's also good to talk about like the positive sides of reptile shows.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
to me, what is one of the coolest things next to the social aspect and getting a bit of discount on Arcadia, still their biggest sponsor, is that if I take somebody who's new to the hobby or and I take them around and they will see like the amount of species, the diversity, even in only the captive bred, just keep it at the captive bred, is just so incredible.
Yeah.
It's such a great opportunity to also just learn what animals are
Yeah.
out there next to, of course, watching online. But yeah, I always see stuff there that I don't see on the offering sites or I have missed or whatever. And that's
Mhm.
I do still like that, you know. And
Yeah,
you
for
see this old guy with species that you don't regularly see, and he doesn't bother to put them online. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's true.
I
And you
think
also
then,
get a lot of inspiration, right? Seeing
yeah,
an animal and oh, maybe I should inform myself about it. Maybe next time I'm getting it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You want to say something, Ben? Or
For me, since my childhood, it was always a very cool chance to finally get to see all of the species that I only knew from books or the internet. So I
Yeah.
really loved to go to the expos back in the day. But after a while, you kind of feel like you have seen everything, you know?
Yeah.
Once in a while, there is one or two species popping up who you are not familiar with. I didn't see for a long time or never seen before, but okay. Yeah, but other than that, most of the time, yeah, it's by now we know what it is. Yeah, so I'm not really so much excited about it anymore.
Mm.
yeah, I
yeah,
also think so. And every time I'm at the expos and we're talking about it, it's always like, ah, same shit as every time, like the typical animals you see every time, and maybe some individuals that are interesting. But while I was preparing for this episode, I also rethought about that and also came to the point what Stefan was saying, like when you are new to the hobby, it's so diverse, and when you compare it to like most pet shops that have reptiles, it's so much more than that.
mm,
And I think from this perspective, it's very cool to see different things and maybe also open opportunities for people in other countries. I think in the Netherlands and Germany, we are very privileged with a big diversity of animals that are accessible for us. But for example, I think Portugal doesn't have a lot of animals and a lot of opportunities to buy there. Or like Jacob said, in Sweden, there aren't a lot of pet shops that sell reptiles. For them, it must be so much more chances to get something new and see something different than they're used from home. Huh.
yeah, for sure. I also can remember when I was like going there the first time, my dad said, "Oh, okay, let's go to Ham." I couldn't sleep that night. I was like, oh my God, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And when I was there, it was actually like crazy. It was insane. And it's also funny because when I'm going now, I'm always excited. And then when I'm driving back, I always think like, oh, next time I'm not gonna go there because in the end of the day, I just bought like one package of crickets or something like that because I don't have like any offspring to sell. That's also like important to say. But then when
Mhm.
the show comes up, ah, okay, fuck it, I go again. There's like this this weird circle. Like, in the end of the day, it always catches me to go there.
Or
Yeah.
maybe you're looking for that rush, you know, the same as drugs or alcohol or being
Yeah,
drunk, like
Yeah,
for
I
that
think it
first.
it is a big
Yeah.
rush of dopamine that you have, like
yeah,
meeting the homies, seeing the animals, seeing the good deals, spending money, some people making money, it's just a rush,
yeah,
kind of like some people go to music festivals, some people go to Terrace Sikaham.
yeah. Okay, I wouldn't compare it to
Yeah.
that, but yeah, you are so tired after that day. You are
Yeah.
like really done.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, that's
also
for sure.
like socially exhausted. Look
Yeah,
at the
yeah, yeah.
lorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it's
cool.
it's very draining.
Yeah.
But
Ben, are you
also,
talking to the tree? What's happening over there?
No, the lorry is coming out.
Oh, nice.
imagine.
But that's, you know,
Oh
Ben, you
yeah.
with the lorry, like that's what at the How to show, there was often, and it's less and less, but it's often combined with like the exoknar. And there were some people like taking like falcons and I once saw the taiga there, you know, the South American martyr and all these crazy animals. And I was always armadillos, whatever. And I was always going there and seeing those animals. And yes, I came to look at them because I was
Fascinating.
curious, but
Yeah.
also I was like, who the hell is like preparing their setup, digging into the information, building everything, spending sometimes thousands of euros on a setup, and then you know what? Let's go to Houten and hope there is
Yeah.
this and this, and nobody's doing that.
Yeah, that
So
does not happen in my
no.
world. In my world.
So
But
so yeah. With those animals, I was definitely like, yeah, of course it's an attraction, draws people to your table. But also,
yes,
if people are gonna buy this, it's gonna be impulse or
yeah.
resell. One of those two
And
things.
sometimes they are not expensive.
No.
Sometimes you can find mongooses, wild caught, imported for 300, 350 euros.
Yeah.
And it's people who just sold some two ball pythons for 1,000 might have the money on hand to just spend it impulsively.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's quite of a shame. Some people, some animals just should not be out there on reptile shows. Yeah, but
No.
I mean that's why I think the idea of this trading system is still good in whatever way it might be. Then I don't know, executed, but there must be a better way than trading the boxes on the parking lot in the wintertime. And I mean, it happens each and every year.
Yeah,
And
I do it
there's
sometimes too. Luckily, I have animals who can
yeah,
tolerate cold, but
yeah,
indeed, like you said, you see people open up boxes with
yeah.
pythons and whatever, like these
Yeah.
tropical species.
And either you
Yeah.
don't check the animals or you risk kind of the
Yeah.
health. It's the options that you have if you do it outside on the parking lot. So there must be a better way. Or maybe they can just, if they don't put up the tent for exhibit, how do you say, for
Exhibitors.
tables,
Yeah.
exhibitors, why don't they put up the tent to make like an animal trading tent or something? I
Yeah.
don't know. Well, that's why we have to do our own show
So,
one
A
day.
business.
is there any like maybe then because like there's this joint responsibility, right, between the buyer and the seller? And I've seen sellers who said, no, this animal is not for you. But I've also seen sellers who said, yeah, you can keep this animal with this animal and it's absolutely going to be no problem, and you'll
Yeah.
hear that also because, again, people go there to sell.
It's best if you keep by five,
Yeah.
so it's not
Yeah.
lonely.
Yeah, indeed. That stuff.
Mhm.
So maybe it's cool for like a person who goes to a reptile show as a visitor, like maybe some etiquette or some things to think about or take in consideration when you go. Like, is there some tips you would have?
Good
Hmm.
start. Hmm.
Maybe only go home with an animal if you expected to do that.
Hmm.
And I think in Sam's podcast you spoke about like a checklist that you can prepare in order to ch test yourself if you have done the right amount of research before acquiring an animal. And he spoke about this checklist that he built for one of his talks, where you see if you, yes, I know where the habitat of the animal. Yes, I know the temperature range. Yes, I know the humidity cycle. Yes, I know the feeding. Yes, I know the experiences in the hobby. Yes, I know the longevity. Yes, I know the breeding, whatever. And once you mark all the check marks, then you are kind of ready to acquire the animal. And that's when you can go to the show and say, hey, today I'm hoping to get this and this and this. And then hopefully it works out for you. And otherwise, it's cool to speak to people, exchange experiences with breeders, but try to stay strong and take your time because most animals will be available in the future as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So maybe if you have like a setup, maybe do like a list of 3 species that could fit in there. if you don't have if you want to go there, like I don't have yet an idea what I would put in there. Maybe make a list with like only 3 species that would fit in this enclosure, and go there and see which one is available. And you should definitely like be prepared for all three, have enough information about them, or just go there and talk to the breeders and maybe exchange phone numbers. Maybe you can message them. Maybe see it more as a beginner, more of like an opportunity to make contact to
Mm.
different breeders. Maybe you are interested in a variety of species, and you could um, ask them for tips or something like that. And yeah, be prepared. Don't buy like if you don't buy like an animal, an enclosure, a plant, and hardscape all in one day. Like, oh, I can do this enclosure tonight when I unbox this animal. That shouldn't be the vibe.
Yeah. And if you also have other animals, don't forget to do a proper quarantine because,
That's
Say
for
it louder
sure.
for the people in the back of the room.
yeah, because, yeah, you could say because there are so much animals and possible ways to infect your animal at the show, but either way, even if you don't get your animals from a show, you should also do a proper quarantine. So do it anyway, anyways.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. What's your tips, Steph?
I like your tips. I do think they're more for the people who have been in hobby like not too long and only a few
Yeah,
species. Like
yeah,
I don't want to sound too like, but I think most people who have done stuff for a very long time, that they are more prepared to quickly and like get acquainted with the species. On the other hand, those people know exactly what they are interested in. But
yeah.
oh, I have another question for you later. But yeah, I don't. I think what Ben said, and I believe we've talked about this also in one of our roundtables. Like most species are not going to disappear. So if you see something and you're interested in it, um, don't feel the rush to take it then now and then because you will find it again. So use it as like inception almost like, oh, this is a species I find really interesting. I like how they looked. Let's go look into them and you will always find them. I like to pre-book animals. I also still like to, I can't remember the last time I bought from a table. Yeah, left houten, some mantids. It's something different and plants. And I always go to a show, make sure there's in time, everything is pre-booked. And when I come home, I don't unpack my animals in the reptile room. I unpack them in the bathroom or in the quarantine room. Often I unpack them the next day, to be honest, because I'm so tired. I just leave them be and myself. And when I come in, I take off my shoes and I go straight to the shower
Yeah.
because you feel dirty, but also gee, I'm so afraid I take something there.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
probably not gonna happen because you don't directly come in contact, but still, that's something I like to do. Yeah.
Maybe another tip that I have is when you are at the expo, you want to meet up with people, you can always share your WhatsApp live location. And I feel
Mm.
it's very practical if you want to meet somebody on the parking lot or outside. Instead of speaking bad English on the phone with a bad connection and a lot of people in the background, just send a live location and I'm sure it's possible to meet up in the middle of the parking lot or on the left or on the right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and if you meet up with people who have a table, they can send you a screenshot with a marking of exactly the location where the table is and not just
Yeah.
row and name, because sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking about.
I
I
remember
hate it when,
many. Oh,
oh,
sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead, Phil.
I just wanted to say I hate it when people start calling you while you are at an expo because you never
Yeah.
understand anything. And even worse is when they are WhatsApp calling you. And yeah, I think that with the live location is a great idea. Or make a fixed meeting point where you meet more than one person before you go in.
You're so spoiled, man. Like a few years ago, just calling in a venue was not even an option.
Yeah.
True. These young
Yeah,
people
man,
don't even
it's
know
actually
what Stefan
crazy.
has to go through.
This was like out of the question to call somebody.
Yeah.
You had
But
no
that's
idea.
what
Now I could
technology
just
is
send a
great for.
WhatsApp message. Yeah,
Yeah.
luckily.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. This is a selfie of me. This is
Yeah.
my dress. Yeah.
Do you wear a
Yeah.
dress when you go to the show?
Sometimes, but please don't
Only in
tell
the
anybody.
hotel. Last time I took I went with my best friend and we took a hotel the evening before and it was the best idea ever. It was
Yeah.
absolutely best idea ever.
Yeah, or maybe sleeping on the parking lot in a van.
People do that. Yeah.
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 Probably also not a bad idea. I mean, you
Um,
can keep the car climate controlled over the nighttime if you want.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys haggle?
What is that
What's
haggle?
Hegel?
Try
Oh,
to
in
get
Not
Hamm.
something off the
100.
price?
Ah, I'm too shy for that.
Yeah, but you also don't buy like a lot of animals, I think.
True, true.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just buy food and bullshit.
I feel
I
like
had
to a certain point it's okay, especially when it's about equipment like cork or stuff, you know. For me, it is normal to buy cork each time when I'm in Hamm. That's the time in the year when I'm buying cork because it's just so it is easy to pick your favorite piece and also it's unpractical to ship. So that's something where I like to be like, ah, come on, give me a fiver less. It's a fucking ugly piece. Come on.
If you
It's
want to
ugly. I want it, but it's ugly.
yeah.
if you want to make a bargain at an expo, take Ben with you. I remember when we
Yeah.
were at the Botanica, it's
Yeah.
like a plant show, and Ben was with us, and I was like, man, I would like to have some of these Philodendron verrucosum over there. Mm, but I don't want to go over that and that price. And Ben is just like, hold up, goes there, points at a plant and says, what did he say? How much for this fucked up philodendron over there? And they were like, maybe 15 euro. But we also waited until the end of the show, so it was okay. I think they were happy to get rid of that plant. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You see?
Yeah. I feel like you can do it a little bit, but not like in a crazy kind of way, you know? Maybe
Yeah.
when you buy more animals from that guy, you can say, hey, come on, I buy like 5, 10 different animals or from the same species. Give me a little discount. But also, on the other hand, I understand when you are a breeder and there's like there's for each animal there's like an price that you definitely have to pay. Some people it's way too much, but respect also like the seller, right? Because he
Yeah.
also put like time, money, effort into an
How
animal.
about the animal?
The value
Yeah.
of
Don't
the
get me
animal.
wrong,
Yeah.
because do the same. I bought 5 Pelodiscus variegatus out of pure curiosity, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I also like, okay, if I take 5, can I get them for this price? I get it. But on the other hand, we are all talking about respecting the animal, stress, all that stuff. And then we are talking about 10, 15, 50,
Mhm.
150 euro discount. Like all of a sudden, yeah, it's weird to put a price on an animal, on a live being.
Yeah.
Of course, there's question demand and all that stuff, and the taxes still see it as product. But we are now all discussing about all the stress and all the and what we dislike about it, and we often talk about animals like we want to improve their care and do better, la 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 la. And in the meantime, we're like, yeah, but that animal ain't worth 100 euros, dude.
Yeah, yeah. For sure, yeah. That's why I'm saying like there's like you have to pay a price to get something. And I feel like oftentimes animals are too cheap as well.
Yeah, or way too expensive. Why
Yeah,
put a
it's like,
price on a live animal?
yeah,
On
it's
the
funny
other hand,
because
yeah,
yeah, it's difficult, but actually I watched like before we started the podcast, I watched like a documentary about trophy hunting.
Hmm.
Mm.
And it's also like some people say, yeah, it's insane to put value on an animal, but the pros are saying, yeah, once we put a value on an animal, people know how much it's worth and we can save animals that way.
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah,
to get into this topic, but it's
for the whole
the same
ecotourism. Yeah.
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah, it's
Because we
just
can,
something I wondered because I remember that a friend of mine he bred some snakes. That's how I met them many years ago, and we were in contact about them. And then I was like, we are okay contact, but as soon as I said, okay, if I take this, and this one, can you do something? He just didn't reply anymore.
yeah.
Oh.
He was like,
But
I
at
don't
the
like
end of the
that.
day, it's also less effort, you know. You have to write only one document instead of six individual ones. You have
True.
only one shipping box. You have only one time of catching them, putting them into boxes.
Yeah. For me, when sold an animal, it was always important that it comes into good hands. And I was like, okay, show me like your setup, and maybe I can give you like a little bit of a better price when I know this animal's in good hands.
Hmm.
But it's also,
I've
yeah,
done that, yeah. Lowered the price for people who had like a really nice setup.
yeah, or maybe for example, when a young child and his dad like had that one time, and this kid was totally fascinated. I'm not here to like no, bro, give me like all your pocket money.
Oh man, you gotta teach him about capitalism as soon as possible.
Just to teach you something, I make it like 20 euros more
Yeah.
expensive.
That's what I sometimes do if people react on like one animal and they ask what the price is. And then I say, well, this is the price. And then can you do it for so much? And then I just raise the price.
Yeah. I, I don't sell a lot, and I don't sell expensive stuff with the plants. But if people are like rude, I also ask for more money than for people that are friendly to me. If someone
Hmm.
is like, "Hello, I'm interested in this. How much is it?" I'm always like, "Oh, well, seems like a nice, reliable person." And if someone is like, "Price?" question mark. I'm like,
I
"Okay,
don't
I can
even
play this
reply.
game too."
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I saw this actually. There was a guy on Terraristiek who had an ad. It was like offering some animals, and if then it was like email instruction. Only price, this is the price. And then if you say hello, what's the price? This is the price. And if you say hello, thank you so much, blah blah blah, this is the price. So it was like, ah,
That's
my
great.
hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But people are sometimes also like very disrespectful when it comes to like asking for prices and in
Yeah.
general stuff.
On
I'm
the
pretty
other hand,
sure.
put your price in the ad, dude.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Also
Yeah.
If
that.
you don't want me
Also
to
that.
ask, put the
I feel,
price in the ad.
why isn't it like why is terroristic not like you need to put like a number in there?
Like the WhatsApp groups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that about the WhatsApp groups. You don't put a
Yeah,
price on it, you're
because
out.
I hate it because sometimes I'm just interested how much like an animal would cost. I I, I don't I sometimes no, I actually did this like one or two times. I said to the seller, yo, I'm not interested in buying, but like I'm interested in what's the value on such an animal. But I also feel like bad for asking this because it's like also like a unnecessary message in some sort of way.
Hmm.
If you just write it down there,
Yeah. One of the famous time wasters, because these people are always complaining about, don't message me if you don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just put it up there so nobody gonna ask.
I have that happen indeed. What you do with the flow, just out
Mhm.
of curiosity, if people send me a message like that, that happens often with the long to notice, I
Mhm.
always just tell them, like, oh,
Yeah,
they
Yeah.
usually go from this to this price. And
yeah,
but those people are very clear about their intentions from the start. That's very different than price and then nothing.
yeah.
But on the other hand, yeah,
True.
man, we
Oh,
could go
but
on and on.
But same way around when
I'm
you
back.
ask a breeder for more information and he just like sends you like 1,000 euros.
Yeah,
Boom.
I can't do anything
Yeah,
with that. Like,
true.
who's the
Yeah.
breeder? Where did it
Yeah.
come from? All
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, that's what's kind of dangerous about the reptile hobby. You're falling into that perception of it being all about the trading,
Mhm.
which it is not, you know. It is you have one trade and then a whole lot of years, hopefully, with the species, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking people who frequently go to the reptile shows tend to trade animals like frequently, and then to have new animals on their hands relatively often.
Yeah. Well, of course, there's also people like who earn their living on that. And let's
Yeah.
be honest, there are plenty of animals, people who don't feel the need to keep their animals for like 40 years, you know? There's plenty of people, and I think I would include myself in it a bit, that just, for me, it's almost like you pay for education or you pay for a course. Sometimes you invest in an animal just to learn more about them and to satisfy that curiosity. And if you do that in an ethical, proper way, and you take good care of them and you whatever, then that's also a way to enjoy this hobby, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody has to keep their animals for 40 years.
Yeah, that's true. True that. That's a difficult topic to expose all this stuff.
Did you say
Do we have
that?
some numbers or something like that, Stefan? That you on reptile or animal expos? Is there something online like how many people actually visit? Like,
I believe Terraristiek was one times a number. And or Houten. You know, of course,
I
there's
have
also
one number.
Verona in Italy.
The number that we researched in our podcast with Sarah, it was the gender distribution of people attending people in the reptile hobby. So what do you guys think?
Yeah.
What's the percentage of male to female in the reptile hobby?
I would say 85% male.
How about the
say
crested gecko hobby?
True, hognose snakes.
Or isopods.
True.
isopods could be something for Flo in Copenhagen. Yeah, not
Sorry,
even
I took
joking,
away
man.
from your question, Ben. So what do you guess, Till?
I say 70 to 30. 70 male, 30 female.
Which is right,
Ding, ding,
according
ding,
to
ding, ding.
ChatGPT.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't trust
Yeah,
that.
okay. Yeah.
They told
Yeah,
me
but I
lies
mean,
before.
yeah. Yeah, anyways, I'm thinking it's pretty interesting. Why is the reptile hobby actually a male hobby? Because isn't it like caretaking? Isn't it like something that women should be like more involved in?
Damn,
I
that's
think Sarah
pretty.
also told us that back in the day in France,
Yeah,
damn.
okay, it's gone.
Ben is gone.
That's hard.
It's such a good
Maybe that would be another roundtable topic.
Yeah, but then you need to involve
Female,
also
because we
woman.
can't.
Yeah, it's funny how we all say female. I noticed this with the podcast with Sarah, because normally if you say female, that's quite like insulting. But we are so used
true.
to
Fuck,
talk
yeah.
in male female terms in our hobby that
Yeah.
we just glaze over it.
Is
Yeah.
it disrespectful in English?
And
Say female
to some
keeper?
people, I believe it is. Yeah,
Okay. Didn't know that.
yeah, that's honestly, I don't get bothered by that too much, but it was interesting to me. I say like sometimes I say like um I talked about like a person having a baby, or when I talk about them being gravid. Well, of course it's pregnant. You're just so used to the
Yeah,
terms.
Captive
because
bred.
Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
like saying a friend just
Yeah,
started
but
his own breeding project.
I think
Yeah.
Ben's question was, maybe he gets back in, like, why do
I'm
you
back.
think there's such a difference in this hobby when it comes to
Yeah.
guy versus girl, male versus female?
I feel like for a lot of women, it's difficult to start in this hobby because they get
Mm.
pretty sexualized there. Like to be a woman in this hobby, I don't want to be like in their shoes because nobody like I can't speak for everybody. Like what, for example, Lottie told me, uh, like she said some people even reached out to her and said, "Yeah, you can't be a woman because you are breeding like a crazy species." That's so
What?
insane that people like doing that. Yeah, you have to. What? You're a woman? Nah, that can't be true. You're breeding this. Yeah, woman can't do this. And
What the fuck?
and also when you're like, um, I think there are a lot of, how do we call these guys? Weird males are in this hobby that are I can't find words for it, but I don't want to be like a woman in this scene.
Yeah.
Like you don't get like respect for what you're doing, it feels like, but it's also hard to talk about it as a man
Yeah.
or as a male
It would be a
because
good discussion for next roundtable. Maybe
yeah, we
invite some of the people we know
yeah,
and
it's
have a talk
a
with them about
female,
it.
yeah, with some women. Would be interesting to have like maybe women at different ages, like who are longer in this
Yeah.
hobby, who are just started, who are like doing big business. I know there's
Mhm.
like this one,
I feel Ben's
uh,
back.
yeah,
I'm back.
Yeah, okay.
isn't there like this leopard gecko breeder from Germany? She's also on on the Project Herpetoculture podcast. She is also a woman. I think they were.
I
She
don't
was
know, man.
also. Yeah, but some women in this hobby. Yeah, maybe we should do that. That would be interesting. Also, I'm pretty curious about their stories. Like I
That's for
said,
sure.
what Lottie told me, it's crazy, and it's actually like pretty scary
Yeah.
that people are still like this.
Yeah, man. It's still kind of a male-dominated hobby. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
while
but
animal care is like more 50-50.
yeah,
Do you think it
and
also has to do with like just that parents, you know, like teach their kids about certain animals?
yeah, the dinosaurs more for the boys and for
Yeah.
the girls more the horses.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
feel like that's like a whole big issue topic that could open up so much because that's like that's like the base points of why there is like a struggle
So let's do that for
between
maybe a
that.
next one. Invite
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
people and
yeah, it's
have their ideas on it. Throw this online, and for people who want to join us, do that. Maybe to
Okay.
conclude our talk about the reptile shows. Will you guys continue to go to reptile shows?
Yes.
From time to time, yes.
Yeah, me too.
Robert Flöchen?
yeah, I said yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't hear that. Sorry.
Okay, so we
Sorry.
still go, but we also hope some things will change. Yeah, I hope that like big societies will regain some of the impact they used to have, but I also understand that it's difficult because in this day and age, you don't have to go there anymore to get all your info. You already know there's such a big network, but I would like to see that. That's yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
And when we get 1 million subscribers, we will do a meetup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, numbers. I already
I will.
prepared the
Oh,
numbers
sorry.
Wow,
in the
wunderbar.
background.
Wait a second. Just like for the people, just tell us on our Instagram what you change, or what would you like
Yeah, for
that
sure.
changes in
Or in the comments on the videos. We are very curious.
Yeah. Okay, give us the numbers.
So today we are at 331 Instagram followers, up from 304 on August 26th. Okay. Today we are at 217 YouTube followers, and it was 202 1 month ago. We are at 2,958 YouTube plays. Last month it was 2,541. Spotify followers and Spotify plays, I cannot see. So if you can help me with that, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
I would like to see more short videos on the Instagram. I know that it is a lot of work to make them, and I don't want to do it, but I would like to see them.
155 Spotify followers.
Okay. Last
Oh.
month it was 132. And Spotify plays, can we see those?
2,403.
Okay. That's
I
fucking
feel
amazing.
like on YouTube, the success of a video is a lot based on the title and on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
And on Spotify, the views or the listens, I don't know. Yeah, how much it is played, the episodes, it's much more stable. So we need a different strategy for YouTube.
Yeah.
And
More
yeah.
clickbait.
Maybe
Yeah.
also the short videos that we are now posting on Instagram, we can post them on YouTube Shorts
You could do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we also
and
have TikTok
TikTok.
now.
Yo, I forgot about that.
But we have 0 followers.
Nice.
Yeah, come
But
on.
but 1,000 views on the video.
Wow.
But that's not much in terms of TikTok, right?
Yeah, true.
Noob.
Okay. Pretty fucking good. Do you want to speak about the bookings? Because that would be more like after the recording. How
Yeah.
do you feel? Do you still want to open up another topic?
No,
I
we are
think we
good. I
talked.
think we have almost 2.5
are-
hours.
Yeah, and my connection is terrible. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, we have 2 hours, right?
Yeah, we started at 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but still,
Oh,
still,
man,
still.
we
Get to record. Shit.
No,
Yeah,
but
I'm
it's
sorry
still.
for the connection, but I think it was still a good
It's
episode.
okay. Was there a topic you still wanted to add then, Ben?
Me personally, no. No, at some points I wanted to ask, say something, but then, yeah, man, the connection failed. So next time, better prepared.
Okay.
Yeah, easy.
Let's end the video then here.
Okay.
Just say goodbye.
Okay, time to say goodbye, people. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Actually, subscribe on our Instagram. We saw that many of you that see our posts don't follow us, so smash that following button. No, thank you for all the support and just like give us a rating that you want to follow us, and it's always love. Peace out.